Hey everybody, it's Glenn back in this my 1000th video. Blimey, doesn't time fly when you're having fun messing with toys. But back to business, and you've seen me review all of the best of Marvel Legends movie Avengers Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure wave, which means it's time to assemble the bath and, as promised, compare it with the first Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure. But before we do that, allow me to rank the wave. So at the bottom of the barrel I place War Machine, followed by Iron Man, then Captain America and Hulk, and not quite gaining a place on the winner's podium is Hawkeye, and then in bronze medal position it's Black Widow baby, followed by our silver medalist, the mighty Thor. Which means in gold medal position he is the cream of the crop that's rising to the top of this wave, it's Loki. And so do those rankings mean I've done any a disservice in your opinion, or favoured any undeservedly? Let me know in the comments below and take a stab at your own rankings. And so here is the Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure fully assembled, and like the action figures themselves in this wave, I'm sure for many of us, at least in form, it's the second time around. But if this is the first time you're clapping your eyes upon it, I think you'll agree it's a pretty nifty screen into plastic translation. In size, representing a bit more bang for your buck than Hasbro's average Build-A-Figure, which is likely why they're clawing back the budget by inserting it as the bath of a second wave. For those who watched me review the first version, you may remember me being critical of its bright plastic. Well, here's side by side with the first version on the left of the screen with the newer one on the right, and as such I can confirm, as rumoured, that the difference between the two is really quite marked. Not really a deco variant, as they're both largely flat plastic, and it's that plastic that gives the variation, with this new one correcting the problem I had with the first one, in that it's received a plastic that's much darker red in tone. Plus the gold parts of each are also noticeably distinct. To me, these differences make the new version superior, as I always felt the original Hulkbuster was let down by its bright red that smacked of the kind you see in Titan Heroes and cheaper toys than it is. And to answer William's question, the two baths are moulded identical, so parts from one will fit with the other. Alas, cherry-picking figures from both waves will mean, due to the colour variations, that you'll end up with a visually mismatched Hulkbuster. For any new to this Hulkbuster bath, or those in need of a refresh, before my closing opinion I'll go over the articulation. So the head is able to rotate side to side, then there is a neck hinge and it's able to look down really quite a lot, but then it's not able to look up anywhere near as much. But then the head hinging down is much more important, as with his size it's how I'd more commonly pose him, peering down at the Hulk before the two do battle, for instance. At the shoulder the arm does rotate and then it hinges up to not quite a right angle to the body. There is upper arm rotation there, and then again at the elbow there is some rotation, plus additionally the elbow is hinged, although it doesn't give the greatest range of poseability. Its hands do rotate, although the rotation is inhibited by that armoured part somewhat, and then there is a slight hinge, again inhibited by the armoured part there. There is a rotating diaphragm joint, which frankly scares the life out of me, as it feels like it's going to break and it springs back into position. I don't want to force it anymore, and then this joint also crunches forward and then crunches back slightly. At the hips the legs don't move out to the side particularly far, but they do move further forward, and then they also move quite far back. There is some upper leg rotation, and then the knee, it's deceptive because the armoured part makes it look like it's single jointed, but no, in fact there is a double joint underneath that armoured part. The feet are hinged, but the design of the armour around the ankle does inhibit that somewhat, and then there is an ankle rocker pivot, plus nice sculpting under there. They could have neglected doing that, so that's a nice touch. Taking advantage of that ankle pivot, this is the Hulkbuster stood at its widest stance possible, still with both feet flat on the floor. Despite the blocky look of the figure, Hasbro have packed in more articulation than I expected, making him surprisingly poseable. Ultimately though, while this Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure has improved its finish on the first one, it's still some stretch away from the Marvel Select Disney Store exclusive one. Not that it's truly an either or situation, as the BAF represents the movie, the Select the comics. Yet the fact that Diamond Select toys achieved an original sculpt and important metallic finish at a price that's within touching distance of the Marvel Legends price bracket does disappoint me with the BAF. But frankly, any improvement is better than no improvement, especially one that's a surprise, which this Hulkbuster being given a second life is. I'm sure many are eager to snap it up in this one-stop shop wave of the movie Avengers. Anyway, for comparisons of the first BAF with plenty other iterations of the Hulkbuster, click this video. Now answering some questions from previous videos. Oh yes, you just try and stop me. I'm chomping at the bit to get my hands on them, the X-Men wave especially. Between those BAFs, I'm yet to have any of them in my hand, which can make a big difference. But off the cuff, I think the Juggernaut BAF won't measure up to the Marvel Select Juggernaut. The Space Venom design I just don't particularly like, so the BAF is starting from behind to begin with. So I'll say I'm most excited for Abomination. No, it nearly fits, and you might be able to wrestle it on or heat the head to soften the plastic and work it on that way, but that's for you to experiment with on yours. But I don't want to do it with mine and risk stretching the head so it's then loose on the Age of Ultron cap body. Not sure, I regret teasing that now, as at first I was going to do Giant Man Evolution, but then I was like, I should include Ant-Man too. But then do I include Goliath and Yellow Jacket? It's a headache of two different characters, Hank Pym and Scott Lang, and umpteen different aliases between them, resulting in more action figures than I know where to draw the line at. Anyway, please give this, my 1000th video, a big thumbs up, and here's to 1000 more. Hope to see you next time. Bye.